One of them days, uh, you know, no excuses on my end for. Oh, there, I got an excuse today, y'all. For those guys gonna be watching this back, I got an excuse. I'm going to act like my government, and I'm gonna blame it on somebody else. That's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna blame being late on the U.S. government because the U.S. government is kind of like blaming stuff that they did for sure on other people. So I don't see any problem with blaming stuff on other people. It's kind of like what we do as a country. We blame stuff on other people. You know what I mean? That's like what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's like what we do. But I'm gonna give a couple minutes for you guys to get in here, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. I think my magic number is waiting 3 minutes, and then after 3 minutes, I'm gonna just go ahead and go with the program. Um, yeah, I hope everybody's doing well, despite not having good role models for leaders. And again, I don't care what side of the political aisle that you sit on. You got to admit that we don't have any good role models. You know what I mean? You're not late, bro. You're kind of early to the party, so welcome in. I appreciate you being here. I hope all is well with you. For those of y'all that's watching this back, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. We're bigger than everybody. Everybody that you can think of, that's who we're bigger than. But yeah, bro, you're not late today. How's it going with you? How you feeling, man? How you living? I hope you guys are living well. And I'm right at about that magic number 3. So I'm gonna just go ahead and run with the topics. Again, guys, don't forget to double tap the screen, like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name Solar Man. And today, we're gonna be talking about something. Every time I try to get away from talking about like Trump or talking about stuff like that is like I get reeled right back in. You know what I'm saying? I get reeled right back in, and it's kind of like funny at this point. I think what I'm gonna do for my platform is have like a desk back here, and I'm gonna have I'm just gonna like roll with the political set point. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna just roll with the punches on that. So I got about 30 more seconds because I had the magic number 3, but then I lost it. So I'm gonna give it about 30 more seconds, and I'm gonna just go with the topics, and then we just gonna go all the way in. Regardless of who's here. Because you just gotta stay consistent. If not for you, do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Do it for you. Do it for you. But I hope everybody is well today. Today we're talking about Trump and his the official government U.S. website said that January 6th. You guys remember January 6th, right? And I'm right about that 3-minute mark, so we just gonna go ahead and run it. Everybody's gonna have to just watch this back. For those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back, you guys remember January 6th, right? January 6th, when a bunch of pro-Americans, stormed the Capitol. Pro-Americans. They felt like the election was stolen from them, and that the people did not vote the current president in because their president didn't win. So because their president didn't win, they decided to go storm our U.S. Capitol, and they bought nooses, they bought axes, they bought weapons with them, they bought handcuffs. But according to our official government website today, those people were peaceful protesters, and it was actually the Democrats' fault that the January 6th riot happened. That's what our government website just reported today. And it's kind of like, at this point, it's kind of just like lazy. It's just lazy as far as like they're not even trying to hide that, their hypocrisy. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not a Democrat, guys. I'm not coming at this like, oh, I want the Democrats in office, because they're Democrats. You know what I mean? They just portray themselves as being the good guys, but they're more like, it's subtle racism. It's kind of like that northern racism. Like it's quiet, it's kind of hush hush, it's behind your back. You know what I'm saying? And then, the conservatives of today, they're kind of like outwardly prejudiced, for the most part. I prefer outward prejudice because, again, I know who I'm dealing with. So what I'm talking about, for you guys that don't know, my first topic is that the U.S. Government website, our U.S. government website, I'm not sure if it's ran by Israel or not, just like our, government, our website of Homeland Security, that's been found to be run by members that's in the state of Israel, the country of Israel. You know what I mean? Anyways, our official government website has reported that January 6th riot was caused by Democrats, and Trump urged a peaceful protest to go down and contend the election results, and what ended up happening wasn't his fault. That's what was being purported. You know what? I kind of like being over here, so we're gonna go over here for today. So that's kind of like what's being reported is that the peaceful protest, the one that had again nooses and axes and Vikings. I didn't even think Vikings were American, but Vikings and stuff like that in the office with a noose, talking about where they at so they can hang them. That was a peaceful protest, and they're changing the narrative, guys. At this point, it's just lazy. At this point, in 100 years, these kind of people are gonna say Martin Luther King was white. Slavery was started by black people, and it was actually whites that were in chains and stuff like that, or it didn't happen at all. At this point, I'm contending that these people will make up anything to get away with their rhetoric. That's what I'm contending. That's what I'm contending. Because at this point, it's like, at this point, they're not even hiding who they are anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're not even hiding who they are anymore. They're obviously going to look us in the eyes and say, nah, Trump ain't say go down there and give him hell. He ain't say that. He ain't say that. He said walk down there nicely, peacefully, in a single file line and give them your grievances. That's what he's trying to say that he said now. And it's like at this point, I thought, that these type of people, because this is what they tell my people. They say, we don't judge people based on race. We judge you based on the merit of your character, and or being, I judge people by their character and being an upstanding citizen. What's more upstanding than being a bold-faced liar? I mean, at this point, you're not even kind of hiding your lies anymore. You know what I mean? You're not hiding your lies anymore. It's obviously that you people have an implicit bias to rewrite history. But the question is, why would they want to rewrite history? Why would they need to rewrite history? Why would they need to rewrite the narrative if they are not a people who's always been in the wrong? Well, because they've been doing this since Jesus Christ. They've been doing this for 2,000 years. This is nothing new. It's nothing new under the sun, people. This is why everything is flipped upside down. This is why the so-called Jews in Israel aren't the real Jews. This is why black people, brown people all over the world are oppressed and suppressed and at the bottom of the food chain, and everybody else is at the top. This is why, because these type of people rewrite the narrative. And we have, and you could say, oh, you guys always make it about race. Because everything's about race. Everything is about race. Everything is about who gets to write the narrative. And these people this is a prime example of rewriting, reshaping the narrative. This is grade A example right here. I didn't tell people to go march and storm the Capitol. Yes, you did. There's video evidence of that. We can go look that up on YouTube right now. But as long as the official narrative is what I stated, which is no, actually, we told them to go peacefully march and protest and stuff like that there. And 9 people lost their lives in the Capitol by peacefully protesting. So they lost their lives for no reason. You guys sound like the same things that black people be saying, when we get shot by the police. You guys sound like us. And I thought that we are people that don't take accountability. So yeah, that's my first topic, guys. And that's kind of like, we're a little light on numbers right now, and perhaps it'll pick up a little bit. But I didn't have much for you guys today. I just wanted to just show you the hypocrisy of the people that we have running the narrative and running the show. Because these people are the same people who kind of like founded this country. These people are the same people who bleed red, white, and blue, who are actually traitors to our nation. These people are traitors. And these people are criminals. And that's kind of like who we got shaping the narrative as of now. Um, so yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I also wanted to talk about what else did I want to talk about? That was a big one right there. Oh, we want to buy Greenland. You know, you guys know where Greenland is. Greenland is a little island off of the coast of. It's kind of close to Alaska. It's off of the coast of Alaska. It's kind of like by Iceland and by the Netherlands and by Denmark and all that stuff like that. There, it's a sovereign nation, meaning that they have their own peace and stuff like that. We're supposed to leave them alone. But just like our country does, um, we want it. And so since we want it, we're asking peacefully. That's what we're saying. We're asking peacefully right now, but we're considering military options. So basically what we're doing is, that $30 trillion a year, the biggest military budget on the planet in human history, we're flexing that military muscle. That's what we're doing. And we're basically telling anybody that anything that we want, we're gonna get. So, anyways, before I get into that, like, what's the reason that we would want Greenland? Like, what's the reason for that? Well, the reason that's been given that we would want Greenland is because what's been reported is that we want it for strategic position. So Trump says, you can't really believe this guy, but if you're listening to the narrative, they say that Greenland, the sovereign nation, meaning that they don't have any dog in the fight. They just trying to be left alone. The sovereign nation is surrounded by enemy ships, by enemy positions, and that in order to increase our strategic position, from our enemies, from Russia, from China, North Korea, etc., we need Greenland. We need that. Like, we need that for sure. We need that. So right now we're asking, but we're not really asking, because anytime we officially say that we're considering military options, that means that is going to be done. And the reason that I know it's going to be done is because you can just look at Venezuela. We were saying that we're considering military options, but we were already doing stuff that was militarized, like killing people who had not been identified in the Caribbean Sea, just because they were in boats. Could it have been carrying drugs and stuff like that? Possibly. But just because you're a drug trafficker, do you deserve to be killed? I don't know. I mean, you definitely deserve to be arrested, but do you deserve to just be shot without any due process of law? You're like, they're not American citizens. American citizens don't deserve any type of, that's only for American citizens. People who speak like this don't understand anything. There is something that's called the supreme law of the land, whereas you treat people basically on morality, meaning that you have the right to freedom of speech, you have the right to a due process of law, you have the right to see your day in court. And if I just kill you, I have removed your human right, basic human rights, not American rights, human rights. I have removed your human rights. So that's what we're dealing with, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that, that we have hypocrites, uh, people that say that they value integrity, that they value honesty, that they value moral character. These people don't value anything. These people value their bottom line, and their bottom line is making their pockets bigger. That's their bottom line. That's their bottom line. I'm probably just gonna go about to 20 for this one, guys. But this wasn't on my set list either. Um, but I do want to briefly mention that Drake, because it kind of goes with all this, right? Uh, with the narrative of the, it kind of goes with them pushing nonsense on us. Drake is being held in contempt because he bit the hand that fed him. What's the hand that fed him? The same hand that fed Diddy. You know, so these people are the people that write the narratives. The same people that own the record labels are the same people that own the prisons. You know, the same people that are in the state of Israel. You can't talk about Israelites though. You can't talk about these Israelites though. Because these are the God's chosen people that are over there. You can't talk about them. But they're the same people that push destruction on other communities. Doesn't sound like God's chosen people to me. Anyways, Drake. Let's talk about old Aubrey. Aubrey is being held in RICO charge because you know they own the court systems too. I forgot to mention that they own the court systems too. So if y'all don't remember, Aubrey kind of took an L for the light skinned community when he went against a darker skinned Afro American by the name of Kendrick Lamar in a rap beef where he got accused of being a sexual predator. And after that song dropped, he kind of like didn't respond to any more, you know, he didn't have any more raps in the rap beef. You know, that's kind of like what you do. You don't stop rapping in the rap beef. You can't stop rapping in the rap beef. You know, that's the whole point of the rap beef. He stopped rapping. So he accused his label, which is Universal Music Group, of buying bots to increase the view count and push Kendrick Lamar's music further. So he accused them of being like, you know, biased in the industry and basically pushing the narrative to make him look like he lost, you know? So he accused them of doing what all of these artists do. All of these all of them. I mean, all of them. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, all of them. They all buy views, people. All of them. Nobody's lit like that. NBA YoungBoy, remember all them NBA YoungBoy posts and all the NBA's better and stuff like that? Those were bots. Most 90% of those accounts were bots to push a narrative because whoever they want to be out in front is going to be out in front. And the way that you do that is by pushing the envelope for said artist. So that's what Drake was accusing his label of doing for Kendrick Lamar. And he kind of like sued them and stuff like that. And it's like nothing wrong with that if it wasn't from Drake. You know, Drake is the same person who benefited from said misuse of funds. Let's put it like that. He's the same person that benefited from buying bots and stuff like that. Drake's been the biggest artist on the planet, one of the biggest artists on the planet for at least the last 15 years. And that's because, one, he makes great music, you know, the collection that is Drake. Because, you know, Drake, you know, he's not a writer. You know, he's you know, his pen game isn't so strong that he's just writing all these hits. No. Drake has a writing team. We all know that. Meek Mill called it out before he got caught buying dildos and stuff on Twitter. You know what I mean? Back when Meek Mill was a gangster. You know what I mean? Back when we took Meek Mill's word for stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, so he's accusing his label of doing what his label does for him, which is boosting the sales and pushing the narrative in the envelope for Kendrick Lamar. So he got mad. He got in his feelings. Again, not a good look for the light-skinned community. It just pushes the further narrative of sensitivity. So he did that. You know? And now that he bit the hand that fed him, you know, even though he was benefiting from the same hand that fed him, just like Diddy, now you see this RICO case being pushed. And they didn't do it right away because they wanted to separate themselves from it just a little bit, about 6 to 9 months out. And again, I told you people before, these people operate in numbers. They operate in 3, 6, and 9s. So if you're wondering how 3 months ago Charlie Kirk was murdered by his own people, Charlie Kirk was murdered, and then 3 months later you see the invasion of Venezuela, etc. And then in another 3 months or another 6 months, you're going to see something else happening. And in another 9 months, you're going to see another, so on and so forth. All of this is in collusion. So these people always keep something up their sleeve. So it's kind of like a blackmail list that they keep. I'm saying they keep a blackmail list in order to keep their tokens in check. See what y'all talking about. I'm glad to see that you're still doing content. Yeah, bro, I can't ever stop. This is me. I am content. And, you know, we're a little light on numbers today, but it's all good. You know, whenever you have something to say, especially I believe that I have something from a divine spirit speaking through me. You know, I got to speak. That's what I'm saying. I got to speak. Consistency over results is what I believe in. So it's a pleasure to see you guys here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Today I'm talking about on our official U.S. government website, one of the things I'm talking about, they said that the January 6th rioters wasn't started by Trump. It was started by the Democratic Party. They changed the narrative. They think you stupid. And again, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not any of those things. I'm a fan of facts, and I'm a fan of truth. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. Welcome in, brother. Nice to see you, King. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe on this, guys. For those of y'all that's casually tapping in, yeah, they changing the narrative, bro. They said Trump ain't say go down and give him hell, and go give him hell from after losing the election. They acting like he ain't say that, even though we got video evidence of him saying that. I don't want to make this a race thing, but I'm just saying, kind of like usual suspects. You guys like changing the narrative for stuff that's kind of like obvious. You know what I mean? So they said that they did this. They said that on official U.S. government website. We have become and this is what other countries are saying around the world. Now, other countries are not any better than us. I'll say that because there is a whitewashing of history that has gone on throughout all nations, really. But particularly us, supposed to be the leaders of the free world. We've been lost that position, guys. People kind of look at us as the laughing stock of the new world. Um, in 100 years or so, they're gonna say Martin Luther King was white, and that he fought against the racism for black people, and that black people started slavery. Like, these are the type of people that don't take accountability for nothing, but like to preach accountability, domestically. So those were pretty much my top. Oh, and then I also talked about how we're about to invade Greenland. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're already setting up. So whenever this is how it happens, guys, people. Just so you guys are aware, whenever excuse me, whenever you have an official narrative put out that we are planning to do something, just know that we have already strategically placed ourselves in position to do so, and we're already carrying out aggressive acts. What am I talking about? Greenland. Y'all know where Greenland is? I used to live in Alaska, right? And so in Alaska, it's kind of like, and I didn't know this when I lived in Alaska. I was a little boy. But Alaska is very close to like Russia. It's very close to like Europe. It's very close to a lot of different places. Anyways, Greenland, Iceland, all those little European islands are very close off of the shores of Alaska. Okay. Also, it's very close to like Russia. And Russia, who is Russia cool with? Russia's cool with North Korea. Russia's cool with China. Russia's cool with dictators and stuff like that. America, we like to act like we don't like dictators, but kind of like we like dictators. I don't know. Anyways, so we're about to acquire Greenland. And the reason we say we're going to acquire Greenland, because we're not asking anymore. This administration has shown itself that when they suggest that they're about to do something, they're already doing it. We learned that with Venezuela. This is the same administration that claims that they don't like racial prejudice, but they barred black countries from coming in the country. Like right now, Burkina Faso, you can't come in the country. We can't come to Burkina Faso either, though. But that happened after we said that they can't come. They're trying to stop Somalians from coming in here. They stop Haitians from coming in here. They don't want Congolese people coming in here. But we want South Africans in here. I don't know what that's about. So that's what's going on, people. And it's kind of like, I don't know. Do we have any type of integrity about ourselves? I don't know. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I don't know. Let's see. I'm right at about 24. I got to go to 25. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had for you today. I had something else. I'm kind of like thinking of it like a solution. What's the solution to all this? If you guys can't tell, I'm a little under the weather. I am. In the book of Ezekiel, particularly Ezekiel chapter 8, chapter 9, in the book of Ezekiel, the Israelite, God showed a vision to Ezekiel, and he showed them the vision in which Israel was committing all types of sins, idolatry, idol worship, praying to false gods, prostitution, doing all this in the temple. That's what was going on. That was in chapter 8. In chapter 9, you had to be separated. There had to be a clear distinction of your disdain for the way that things were going, and the way that you could tell that you were separated is what you had on your forehead. So we had a mark on our forehead. In order for you, what else happened? In order for you not to be killed. That's what happened in the book of Ezekiel. And that was an order and a command from the Lord thy God themselves. Now you might be thinking, if anybody said that they were doing killing on behalf of God nowadays, we would call them crazy. And you're right about that. Excuse me. But you got to understand that in the Old Testament, for sure, God spoke to people and told them to kill people. He did. Anyways, translate more today. I don't think necessarily that there needs to be a cleansing, um, but there has to be a separation. There has to be a clear distinction on what side you're on. The people with the red hats have already done it. That's why they wear their red hats. They want you to know, and they want to be able to identify each other. So when we're out in the world, how can we identify each other that we're not with the bullshit? How do we do that? There has to be a clear distinction. I'm not sure. But that's what's going on in the book of Ezekiel. I'm at 26, so you know I got to make it to 28. I'll leave this time open. Again, we were a little light today, but it's all good. I'll leave this time open for any comments or concerns. You guys talk to me and let me know on what you guys think about it. Did you know that we're changing official narrative, that we're rewriting history actively? So anytime you hear somebody contend that no, people like to rewrite history to benefit their own narrative, give them this example. This is a prime example. This is an active example. This is an honest example. It's not an illusion. It's not a make believe kind of thing that, oh no, you people are just complaining about. They're actively rewriting history to shape their own narrative. How do you feel about this? Are you okay with that? Does that make you, do you feel like we should just sit by? Like, why don't we January 6th it? It was peaceful, right? It was peaceful. Why don't we January 6th it? Or are we not allowed to do that because the censors get kidnapped by people like ICE? I don't know. Growing up, I always believed differently, that I wasn't in a place that the official narrative used to tell me that I was. Like, growing up, I always believed that I wasn't in a. I always believed there was something sinister behind the door. I just couldn't put my finger on it all the way. Now, the good God-given thing about this current administration, this current world, is they show you exactly who they are. I love it. I love that you will lie to me and you will call me stupid to my face when I have video evidence of you doing otherwise. I love that. I love that. Oh, hold on. Here we go. I just got to know. Trump says U.S. could reimburse oil companies for Venezuela expenses. I don't know. You guys know that we're controlling Venezuelan oils as right. Oil as right. Oil as well, right? Yeah, it's a lot going on, bro. But anyways, I'm at 28, so I gotta make it to 30. I'm gonna give it about 2 more minutes. You guys let me know how you feel about it. I'm a little under the weather today, but I just had to come by and let you guys know that they think you dumb. They think you dumb. They honestly think you stupid. Like, they think you don't have and I don't even think they think you stupid. I think they don't care, which is more devious. Like, you think I don't, like, you don't even care that I'm looking at you. That's more devious. That's like somebody who will rob you in your face and then dare you to do something about it because they got bigger guns. It was reported when we went to go kidnap Nicolas Maduro. Not saying he was a good guy, but when we went to go kidnap him, because we're the police of the world and we get to do whatever we want. When we went to go kidnap him, that we were utilizing our space force, meaning we had satellites aimed at this guy. We were using our naval force. We had ships ready to deploy nuclear warheads or whatever the case we needed to do. We had ground troops. We had Air Force deployed. So and we had cybersecurity ready to join in as well. So we're at a position in this world where 30 trillion and counting. A lot of that is unaccounted for, and stop waste, fraud, and abuse. But we can't figure out where our money's going with this 30 trillion for our defense systems. Anyways, We're at a point in this world where we are so dangerous on so many fronts. You know what I'm saying? That we can't even like how does if we wanted to truly stop this government and march up to the Capitol right now and say no more. These people have satellite lasers, biochemical means of warfare, sound instruments. You know, army, land, and sea, in space. How do you protest this? Well, it takes acts of God and courage from God because who's tough? And then we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Who's tough is I know you trolling me with that comment. Just give me a second. I'm gonna respond to you. I know you trolling. But anyways, how do we protest this? It takes acts of God because the tough people are not the people who are telling us to go kill other people. The tough people are the ones that are pulling the triggers. The tough people are the soldiers. The tough people are the ones that have to carry out the orders. Those are the tough people. The tough people are the green beret that went to go kidnap Nicolas Maduro. But the only reason that they're doing what they're told is because they've been conditioned and traumatized to do what they're told. Those are the tough people. Those are the people we need to be trying to convince. Because otherwise, then these people have to hire mercenaries, which are people that will do what they're told for money. And there'll always be sectors of people who will do that. But as long as we have it's a numbers game. As long as we have more people that are willing to do what's right, then the people that are willing to do what's wrong will have to remain in the shadows, and they'll have to operate under extreme pressure, which is what they're used to. But nowadays, they kind of like doing the opposite, and they don't have to worry so much about repercussions because evil is kind of winning right now. And again, I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on. You have to admit, changing history, or kidnapping, or bombing people just because you feel like you can, isn't something that should be so. You know, we should at least get a vote on it. You know, and if most of the American people, if most of Babylon wants to destroy the world, then that's Babylon's fault. You know, because that's where we are right now. Things have not changed, people. Ancient Rome only lost its west sector. You know, the main part of ancient Rome just reinvented itself. And we are still in the offshoots of Rome. This is still ancient Babylonia. We are still dealing with Amalekites, Kevistites, all the type of stites, Prezeites. You know, that's what's going on in the world. Happy New Year, Solar. It's not New Year. New Year starts during the spring when everything in vegetation is new. That's the New Year, sir. And you know this. I've talked about this already. What's going to happen to Venezuelans? This is getting scary. So what you got to understand about Latin America, that was a good question. What you got to understand about Latin America is extremely, most of third world countries, rather, I'll put it like this, are extremely conservative. They're extremely pro-fascism. They're extremely pro-dictators for the most part because of their conservative values. They want somebody who's going to uphold their culture. That's what most of Latin America is. So a lot of Latin America right now, a lot of Venezuelans right now, and since they've been in such they've been in poverty for the last 40 years. That's because I got my hand over the thing. Can you hear me now? We good? We good? Testing. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. This pressure on me way too heavy. For sure. All right. What you got to understand, just in case y'all didn't hear me, what you got to understand about Latin America is that most of them are conservative. Most of them like dictatorships and stuff like that because not that they want a dictator, but they want somebody who's going to bring resources back to their country. They want somebody who's going to stabilize their region. And oftentimes when you got a country or you got a region that's used to being poor, that anybody is good. That's kind of like America right now. Most of these people, and you know, I'm gonna answer your question, but I gotta bring America in this. The reason that a lot of Americans voted for this is because Americans were tired of the status quo. Americans were tired of the welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. How you doing, ambitious one? Most of Americans were tired of the status quo of modern government. And you know, A modern government being that we elect people who say that they're going to do this, that, and the third, but really they ship our money off to Ukraine, off to Israel, etc. Trump positioned himself that he was against the status quo, that he was for Americans bringing money back to America and having transparency in the government. And by and large, as far as doing what he said he was going to do, he has done what he said he was going to do, which is exactly what he wants to do. He hasn't divvied from that. There's been things though that he didn't mention, like how he would destabilize the economy and how he would attack foreign officials without consideration of the American public, and how he would be the first Jewish president, because this is the United States of Israel. I don't know if you guys knew that. United States of Israel. He's the first Jewish president. I mean, he said it himself. Go Google me. Don't take my word for it. Google me. Anyways, to answer your question about the Venezuelans, what's going to happen with Venezuelans is the same thing that's going to happen with Americans. We have been infiltrated by people who say that they have our best interests, but really who are robbing us blind. And we are all going to continue down this path unless our military does something to step in. But then if our military does something to step in, who's controlling the military? We're in a very finicky position, people. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not an easy position to be in. It's not an easy position to have somebody who's so ready to use deadly force to get their point across. How do you deal with thugs? How do you deal with thugs? Does anybody know? I'm seriously asking. How do you deal with thugs? Do you kill them? Is that the way you deal with thugs? You hang them in the streets like we did in France during the French Revolution, or that we did in Haiti during the Haitian Revolution? And they killed the colonizers. They hung them from trees, kind of like they did us, and they did Jesus Christ and stuff like that. Is that how you deal with opposition? Is that how you deal with oppressors? By killing them and dragging them through the streets to stop any type of stuff like that from happening again. The problem with force is there's always a leader behind the force, and then who says when it stops? Who says when a peaceful transition of power is finished? Who says when we're done revolting? That's the problem with a revolt. Excuse me. That's the problem with a revolt. So I'm asking you people, because I'm curious. I want to know, what do we do? I have an idea, but I want to know what you guys think. What do we do? I'm going to tell you my idea while you guys are thinking about your ideas. My idea is that it's going to take all races coming together. It's going to take the blacks and the whites got to come together. That's just what it is. The blacks and the whites got to come together. Even the parts of us that hate one another. I mean, there's for the ones that hate us, it's kind of like they're like implicitly more biased. They more so hate us because of the complaints of their aggression. But anyways, we got to come together. We have to. Because we are the two strongest factions on the planet. The American blacks and the whites. The American whites. We got to come together. That's the only way this stuff is going to change. Otherwise, we will come into a position to where we'll kind of reach a point of no return. That's kind of like almost where we're headed to right now. I mean, we do have the first Jewish president. I didn't know Trump was a Jew until he got into office, and he started being, pro-Israel all of a sudden, So it's going to take the whites and the blacks coming together. But how do we get the whites and blacks coming together when there's so much hatred on both sides? When there's so much history and bad blood? Literally, bad blood. Bloodshed. The whites don't like hearing about the blacks blaming them for everything, and then the blacks don't like hearing that the whites don't want to hear about everything because they did everything, and then the whites be like, oh, the blacks, you guys, what about black on black violence, because that's all they care about when they're talking about us, and etc. What about black on black violence? You know what I mean? What about black on black violence? What's going on, Beasky the shooter? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? I'm talking about your government. I'm talking about Trump. That's what's going on right now. I'm trying to figure out how do you for those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back too, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN. Today, your government just said that Trump didn't say go storm the Capitol. Remember January 6th when all those people they bought nooses and ropes and they had firearms and they stormed the Capitol and then they was looking for Nancy Pelosi and stuff like that and they said they was gonna hang them. Y'all remember that? But they saying it didn't happen. And then not only are they saying that it didn't happen, they saying it didn't happen like that. Even though we got video evidence of it, they saying it didn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? They saying that Democrats said, Democrats opened up the door and waved protesters in and told them to come in here. And there was video evidence of some police officers saying come in here because a lot of police officers and forces have been found out to be Klansmen, have been found out to be pro, far rights, pro-Trumpers and all that stuff like that there. So there is some evidence of that. So anyways, what they doing is they twisted the narrative. That's what they doing. They twisting the narrative. So how y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about them openly twisting the narrative in your face and calling you stupid? How you feel about that? Because again, if they doing it like this, in 100 years, they gonna say Martin Luther King was white and Malcolm X was a Christian man. That's what they gonna say. If they playing in your face like this. So I don't know, people. I don't know. I do know, actually. I just told you the answer. The answer is it's gonna take all of us coming together. But how do you come together with somebody that hates you? Well, hate is, it's on the same line as love. So really, we love each other. Blacks love white culture. We do. Because a lot of black culture is white culture. Whites love black culture. They do. Because all of white culture is black culture. We love each other. We just can't get along because we've been, history. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have much else for y'all to, it's 42, so I gotta make it to 45. But what y'all think about that? I forgot to mention Drake again. Drake, he bit the hand that fed him, just like P. Diddy. Since he bit the hand that fed him, he got that lawsuit on him. He got that RICO case on him because this RICO. Remember he made that song with him and the dildo buyer. Meek Mill. Remember that? Remember that he made the song with Meek Mill, the dildo buyer. The man that like to buy dildos. I don't know no men that like to buy dildos, but Meek Mill do. But anyways, he made the song with him called the RICO, and that was back in 2013, 2014. It's like these people be foreshadowing. I don't know. They be knowing something we don't know. Anyways, he just got hit with a RICO because he sued his label, and these labels are the same ones that own the prisons. Even though they put money in these rappers' hands to make music that's against their community, but they own the prison systems, and they also own the courts because of their Masonic ties. So since he bit the hand that fed him, they didn't do nothing right away. But 9 months later, after he got crushed in that rap battle where he got alleged for being a pervert and pedophile, they hit him with this RICO. Y'all care about that? Y'all care about Drake getting hit with a RICO? You might get hit with no RICO. Got hit with no RICO. Y'all care about that? Y'all care about that? I don't care nothing about it, bro, because Drake is the same one who he doesn't care about his fans, bro. He doesn't care what type of agenda or type of narrative he has to push. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when he was painting his nails pink? He didn't want to have to do that, but he didn't care because he wanted to go up. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about Drake, bro. I don't. Yeah, I don't either. I don't care nothing about Drake, bro. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. And then he pushed gambling on his fans and stuff like that. He know people ain't got no money. He pushed gambling on his fans as if he was losing millions of dollars or betting millions of dollars of his own money. It was all fake credits to promote Stake, the gambling company. I didn't write that down for my set list on this live, but that's what it is. That's what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He wasn't using his own. You think he was using his own money? Brother, you gotta know better than that. He's not using his own money, bro. So, yeah, all these people use bots. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Baby, Kendrick Lamar. All these people use bots. Ain't nobody lit like they say they lit. NBA YoungBoy ain't lit like they say they lit. NBA YoungBoy has lit support behind them. That's what's lit. What's lit is his label and the bag that they're willing to push to put out that demonic nonsense. Yeah, I'm talking about NBA YoungBoy. That's bull. That's demonic bullshit, bro. If you still, and I can't lie, bro can make a song, bro. He can make a song. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Been 40 days straight, I've been rolling off. Well, what? He be snapping. But in order for me to deprogram myself to escape this matrix that is modern society, I got to stop listening to bullshit. I have to. Otherwise, I'm gonna be a product of what I listen to some degree, to some varying degree. I'm gonna numb myself to some varying degree. I'm a calcify this pineal gland to some degree. You know what I'm saying? To some degree. Everybody uses bots, bro. Post Malone, Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj. Oh, by the way, Nicki Minaj's petition to get her up out of this country has over 300,000 signatures today. I don't. People are funny. Just because she said something that they don't like, now they want to kick her out the country. I'm not saying that what she said was right, because she's definitely ass kissing and she's definitely a grifter, somebody who just says things and uses politics for their own personal, to gain finances. You feel me? She's obviously she's been pushing whoredom and debauchery on her fans for years, and now she wants to have a moral position. I don't know. People are hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? People are hypocrites. You feel me? But yeah, Nicki Minaj. Who else? Who else? All of them. All of them. 6ix9ine, Trippie Redd, XXX Tentacion. He kind of had a more organic rise. You feel me? But his shit was still. You feel me? They using bots, bro. They using bots, bro. Empire Music Group uses bots, bro. Authentic Empire. They reached out to me too, but I'm not signing no deal. I'm not signing no deal, bro. Unless they come in with the millions. I ain't gonna lie to you. Unless they come with the millions. They wasn't coming with the millions. They wasn't talking about nothing. For real. I'm not signing no deal, bro. You feel me? I'm not signing no deal, bro. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna stick with y'all. I'm saying I'm gonna just do that. The same thing Charleston White said he was gonna do. You feel me? But he kind of I kind of look at dude like he a lame now, bro, because he compares his success to who he's next to. That's what a hoe do. That's what a whore does. He compares his success to being next to Aiden Ross and people like that. I mean, him and Say Cheese, they running a play right now as far as like saying he ain't gonna do no more Say Cheese interviews and stuff like that. Him and 607 supposed to be working together and shit like that. So people are whores. People are media whores, bro. And I'm tired of media whores. I'm tired of people pimping themselves out for attention, but then claiming to be a voice of the community. Which one are you? Are you a whore? Or are you a voice? Are you a whore? Or are you a voice? Them sounds was ass. Them sounds was ass. You can't lie, bro. Casey talk was hard, bro. Tell it all when I make a song. Then let me mother daddy and make it home. That song hard, bro. NBA YoungBoy got some hits, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel what you mean though. It's the vibration, bro. It's a demonic pulse, and he'll tell you that himself. You ain't gotta like just be on here spitting some conspiracies. You feel me? That's what it is, bro. He'll tell you that himself, bro. He'll tell you that himself. You know what I'm saying? Go watch his interviews. Bro is hurting inside. He's depressed at all times, even when he happy. That nigga he one of them people that look depressed even when he happy. You feel me? He one of them because he go through so much every day because he didn't put himself through so much. You gonna sell out knowingly? Knowingly, I wouldn't sell out. Not knowingly. Not knowing. But when I said signing for them M's, it's like this, bro. I don't even record music like I used to, first and foremost. So knowingly, I wouldn't do it knowingly, bro. I wouldn't do it, period, bro. Just because I say I'll sign for them M's, but if my spirit has that conviction and I can't do it, bro, I can't do it. I'm past the point of just doing shit because that's what I want to do. You know, even when I try, like I tried to mess with a little female the other day. I couldn't even do it. You feel me? Because it's like, what am I doing that for? I'm saying I couldn't even do it. My heart wasn't in it like it used to be. You know? So nah, not knowingly, brother. Not knowing. You're not gonna lose me, bro. You know, as long as God got me, I ain't going nowhere. You feel me? As long as God got me, I ain't going nowhere. You still got the studio, don't you? Yeah, I still got my studio. I just don't have it in my Ohio content house. You know, I'm still getting everything, and I don't have my engineer in house right now. So it's like, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing this. You feel me? And then other business ventures that I got going on. You feel me? But you know, yeah, I'm still recording music. I'm just not recording. You know, you got to reinvent yourself every 3 years or so, and then I'm getting older, so it's like how I used to want to do it is not how I want to do it no more. You feel me? It's not how I want to do it no more. And signing a deal, at this point, I want a partnership. At this point, you're gonna have to invest in my label. At this point, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be up no label up under you. I'm not 20 no more. You feel me? I'm not no 21-year-old no more. I'm not no little boy. I'm a grown. I'm a big dog. I'm a big dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dog. So I gotta do big dog stuff. And at this point, it's gonna be a venture, like a joint venture. You feel me? It ain't gonna be just me signing to you. That's just not how that's gonna go. You know? That's just not how that's gonna go. You know? Uh I'll bring the studio and the camera. Hey, right on. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you said that. Studio. I'm sorry, studio. Gotta get my words together. Content house fully operational this month. I'm pleased to announce that. Um, I'm supposed to be having an engineer come through, but he got like beef going on. I don't know. I don't want his drama coming with me. Yo, people be trying to pull me into their beef, and it's like, yo, speak for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was trying to pull me into their beef, have me speak for them, go on live to talk about another nigga. I would never do that. I would never do that. That's kind of off topic, but anyways, yeah. Content house will be fully operational this mid January. If you want to book, I already got about 3 slots already took it. So if you want to book with me and you want to work with me, go ahead and tap in now, and we'll try to make that work. Yeah, because we're actually doing that. So at this point, I don't even at this point, we is the label. I'll put it like that. Nah, bro, I don't need to sign for no millions. You feel me? Because at this point, it's like, you know, if I got this label looking at me and I got that means they already see me. You feel me? So they know that they can make more money off of me than I know about myself. You feel me? So that's like if somebody willing to sign, somebody willing to sign you for $30,000, that means you worth at least 100 bands. Cause ain't nobody trying to just make their money back when they signed you. They trying to recoup at least 60 to 100%. So if they were trying to sign me for 30 to 60 bands, that means I'm at least worth 200 right now. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta think like that as a businessman. I gotta put myself in positions of power. I can't put myself in positions of peewee. I don't need your 30,000. I don't need your 40,000. I'll blow that in 6 months. I got my own money. You feel me? You know, I don't need your money. I need opportunity, and opportunity comes because again, you might feel bad, and for any content creators, for any of y'all that's in here that's doing y'all thing, for those of y'all that's gonna be watching this back, don't feel bad for having to. I'm not saying lie to the fans, but I'm saying that all these labels buy bots, all of these labels buy views, all of these labels buy likes, all of these labels buy their own merchandise. You know what I'm saying? All of them, for all your biggest artists, for Drake, for Kendrick, Lil Baby, Future, Kodak Black, all of them. Because you have to build a hype behind yourself. Even at that level, you still working. Everybody's still working. And that's how I know everybody broke. Unc did say that. Everybody is broke. That's something that he said that was true. Everybody broke. I get it now. I really, really, really get it now. Everybody broke because they all living off loans. And there's nothing wrong with living off loans, but they living off interest and they're not able to recoup. And as soon as they recoup, they sign another loan. So they never touch the dollar, and they don't have anything in their own interest, in their own trust funds. They don't have anything like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have anything like that, which is crazy. That's crazy, bro. Let me see what you're talking about. I got an engineer. Don't even trip. Right on. Bring it through. Partnership the best way though, especially if you got your own label. I have my own, so it's a partnership with Dreamville for me. Dreamville. It sound good, bro. The only thing I warn you and caution you is that most of these people are these people right here. You know what this is? You know what this is? Do you know what this is? Most of these people are these people right here. So, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, speaking of that right here, I don't know if y'all can hear me. Speaking of that right there, I gotta talk about Will Smith real quick. Since I'm talking about them Masons, you see what Will Smith just got hit with? He just got hit with a lawsuit. For touching on boys. He just got hit with a lawsuit for touching on boys. So this wasn't in my set list either, but I gotta talk about it. This wasn't on my set list, but I gotta talk about it because it goes with the go along, get along game. And these same people are the same ones that either influence culture, Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, everybody. For those of y'all that's casually coming in, we are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN. I'm fanatically out of here. Anyways, I'm talking about a bunch of different things right now, but right now I want to talk about Will Smith. And this is supposed to be Financial Literate Tuesdays. I didn't forget, people. I'm going to give you some financial advice if you want to hear it. But I want you guys to know that Will Smith, Bad Boys for Life, I, Robot, 6 Degrees of Separation. I don't know how you know Will Smith. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I'll give him his flowers. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What's some other cool things that he did that wasn't homosexual? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I, Robot, I Am Legend. I mean, the list goes on. But then his first movie was 6 Degrees of Separation, where he did play a gay man, and he did say he wanted to have, it was, anyways, let's talk about what Will Smith did. Will Smith, he just got hit with another lawsuit, because he got hit with the one after the actor from Empire alleged that him, Quincy Jones, and some others sexually mutilated him. They did a lot to him, and he had to run up out the house. That lawsuit kind of got swept under the rug, and we all just called him crazy. You remember that? You remember Bilal? I think that's his name, Bilal. Yeah, the dude from Empire, the rapper. The light-skinned guy. Because I guess Will Smith likes some light skin. I don't know. His son was light skinned too. I mean, his son kind of dresses. His son's kind of like a girl now. I don't know. And his daughter's kind of like a boy. I don't know. He kind of like kissed his son on the mouth on TV that one time in Ellen, and his son kind of was like, no, Dad, no. I don't know, people. I don't know. Anyways, let me stick to the story. Don't interrupt me, people. Anyways, Will Smith. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN. It's a pleasure to have you here. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here. It's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. Anyways, Will Smith, your favorite actor. Will Smith. He got alleged he was having a tour because Will Smith still be making music. He still be making albums. We don't listen to it, but he still be doing it. And because he's a traveling man, he's a Freemason. He's a high level Freemason. He's part of the Church of Scientology as well. This guy is well connected. He can really do whatever he wants. He just had to compromise himself, and give up his anal cavity in order to have his position, and that kind of turned him into this bisexual creature who has no sexual control. There's nothing wrong with your sexual preference as long as you don't force yourself on others. That's what Will Smith is doing. He's forcing himself on others. So what was he being accused of? Excuse me. What is he being accused of? He's being accused of sexually grooming and groping his violinist that he hired for his I Am Will Smith tour that he did all over the world. That's what he's being accused of. And the specifics of what happened was this. His violinist says that when he first got, and his violinist is gay. He's definitely a gay man for sure. And how do I know he's a gay man? Well, you can look at him and tell he's gay. And that's not being prejudiced. I mean, he's gay for sure. Anyways, he'll tell you himself he's gay. You know what I mean? Anyways, what Will Smith would do, he got hired for the tour as a violinist because Will Smith needed a violinist. as a rapper. I'm just telling you, he needed a violinist. So, you know, uh, Will Smith got close to the guy and said that they had a very special connection. He said that they had a very special connection. You know what I'm saying? And, and he got very close to the guy and stuff like that. And, they got very close. And I don't know how close they were, but he said they got very close. And the thing that made him uncomfortable is that he had gotten they were at a stop in Paris, France. I believe it was Paris, or no, it was Miami. I'm sorry. They were at a stop in Miami, and his hotel room had been he went back to his hotel room. He obviously said that somebody had been in his hotel room. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, and that was a problem for him because there was a note left in there saying that I'll be back after 5 p.m. and also that there was a prescription bottle for HIV medication. So does Will Smith have HIV? I don't know. I don't know, people. This is a new development. I don't know. But I mean, if you've been taking man buns and I don't know, them people do be having HIV. I don't know. Anyways, he said that there was a prescription for HIV medication and there was a letter saying that I'll be back after 5 p.m. That drew him. He's like, no, that's where I draw the line. So he went to go check the footage at the hotel staff, and they were able to confirm that it was Will Smith's staff that had been in and out of the room. And when he brought this attention up to the police and also to Will Smith's staff, they not only basically they bullied him and told him that he was a liar, even though he had the evidence right there. These people were kind of like Trump people right now. They try to change the narrative, even though you have video footage of it. They changed the narrative, and they kicked him off the tour. They terminated him. So he's suing for wrongful termination and for compensation for emotional abuse and sexual misconduct. Do I think that Will Smith do it? Do I think that Will Smith did that? Yes. Yes, I do. I absolutely do think that. And why does it matter? It doesn't per se matter to me. It just matters for the grand scheme of things, because it's like it just shows a bigger picture for how these people get down and for the people that we idolize. So in the book of Ezekiel that I prefaced this show about being about, in the book of Ezekiel, God gave a word to Ezekiel and basically a vision where he showed all the depravity and all of the things that Israel was doing that brought remorse to God's heart, and for the reason that God was going to send destruction upon the people of Israel because they were worshiping false idols. They were involving themselves in sodomy. They were prostitution, etc. And so in the very next chapter, in chapter 9, God sends destruction. He kills everybody that doesn't have a clear distinction that they're not with the bullshit. You had to have it marked on your forehead. I say all that to say that the people that we've been growing up to idolize, the people that we felt like, we could make it in acting one day. I'm talking about myself. And, I can make it in acting one day. I can make it in rapping one day. The people that we looked up to, you have no idea the sacrifices that these people be talking about. It's not just, waking up early, getting a set on time, memorizing your lines, the work. You have no idea the sacrifices that they had to make to get to that position. You have no idea. You have no idea. What are you willing to sacrifice? Him. Y'all seen that movie, Him? I ain't seen it, but I know the premise of it. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? I'm not willing to sacrifice my anal cavity or my mouth or my mother or my brother or my family or my fans, Travis Scott. I'm not willing to sacrifice anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm not. And I'm not willing to be reborn or sacrifice my fans like NBA Youngboy. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. And I'm not willing to go to prison to be reborn in a rebirth ritual. I've been to jail. I've been in holding cells twice, and that was enough for me. It's not a place for humans. It's not. I'm not willing to sacrifice anything. But what am I willing to gain? I'm not willing to sacrifice anything that isn't of moral uprightness. That doesn't bring me closer to the divine divinity that I was born from. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I love looking at Will Smith can't do this right here. He can't do this. This is America, y'all. He can't do this right here. P. Diddy can't do that right there. You see, how their eyes be all stuffy and puffy and red. They can't do this right here. I'm looking myself in the mirror. They can't do this. They can't do this right here. I love looking at myself in the mirror. I love it. I gotta be able to look at myself and I came into this with a moral character. And I ain't got too much hair on my chest, but I'm a man. Oh man, I don't know, people. I don't know. What are you willing to sacrifice? I don't know. But the good thing, this is good. This is a good lie, because I've been meaning to talk about this for a while, but now I can kind of get this off my chest. The good thing about these times that we're living in is that we're showing that what we've been considering success is not success. What we have considered as success is idolatry. And just because it has had its time under the sun, everything in the dark must come to the light. Everything in the dark must come to the light. And we're seeing what is coming to the light is abominable. It's abominable. And we're seeing that, no, I don't want to be successful like that. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN. And today, I'm talking about a bunch of different stuff. I'm talking about Trump and how he just said that January 6th wasn't his fault, and he ain't tell nobody to come down to the Capitol. I'm talking about how we about to invade Greenland and take it by force. I'm talking about how Will Smith is getting... I'm talking about how Will Smith is getting accused of taking some more cheeks, you know what I'm saying, without consent. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that. I'm talking about a lot of different things. I'm talking about your position in this world and how you shouldn't feel bad about being where you're at right now, because the idea of success that we've had for time immemorial has been perverted. It is not success, because it is not of God. And I'm not just talking about a moral, oh, Jesus. I'm talking about literally it takes away from your spiritual essence. You have to compromise that. These people know God is real. You have to take away and be willing to give away your spiritual essence in order to have the illusion of success that we have in this modern world. Is that worth it to you? I don't know. Let me read y'all comments before I keep going. I just had to talk about Will Smith taking cheeks. I just had to talk about that. Okay, I missed a lot of comments. Hold on. Here we go. I ain't surprised though. A lawsuit though, G. Nah, for sure. Hi, what's up, my son? What up with it, guys? Don't forget to double tap the screen if you haven't done so already, and like the live. And then when this comes out, don't forget to hype the video, because we are monetized, by the way, and every dollar helps. And it's gonna help furnish, this content space, because apparently, I've been told that I don't have a job and stuff like that. So, help. It all helps. I'm glad I caught your live. I'm glad that you're here, because if anywhere that you guys could be, you guys are here, and I do value you guys' attention and you guys' time. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Damn, I didn't even hear about that yet, though. I ain't surprised, though. A lawsuit, though, G. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The reason that his wife was so comfortable putting their business of her having an affair with a man, because that was the most heterosexual thing that they did in their relationship. The only reason that a woman would be that comfortable to say that to a man's face is if she had dirt. Your woman knows exactly who you are. That way, when you got all these tough guys, when you got these down low guys, their woman knows exactly who they are. His wife knew exactly who he was. That's why she could sit across from the table and say, yeah, I had sex with my son's friend. And didn't blink an eye, didn't flinch, because she knows where her husband takes penis and gives it to men. So, he's okay, that's the least of their concerns. You know what I'm saying? That was the least of their concerns. Yeah, it comes with public embarrassment because these people believe in humiliation rituals in order to move forward and in order to progress through life. These people ritualize everything. You know, that's what these people are, and it's not just me saying it. This is true. This is true. This is true, people. This is true. I'm not just talking. This is true. So there you go. Diddy, Bad Boy, Will Smith, Bad Boys. Yep. Hey guys, welcome in everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I go by Solar Man, and I am out of here. And today we're talking about a lot. So you want to stick around for this because we're talking about history and how we'll be remembered. So stick around. Yes, it's Bilal that is suing Will and Jada. Yeah, him, and now this violinist is suing Will and the Will Smith estate for sexual misconduct as well. Everyone is bisexual. Man must think that we had to be one way. Yeah, no, everyone is not bisexual. Are you talking about like 607 Uncle? Gay and straight the same. You know what I mean? He's talking about the masculine and the feminine brain. I even said that shit a couple times. I don't know what yo, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, I like women. I don't know, but maybe you are speaking from the male and female brain. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't know. Well, speak for yourself. Yeah, for sure. She can speak for herself. No. All right, so you think Nikki Dicky, LOL. Try everything once. I know I don't like it, baby. Yo, y'all going crazy. I ain't see all these. Like, I saw them out the corner of my eye, but in order to stay focused on the topic that I was talking about, I couldn't respond. But y'all funny. I think Will did it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 110% sure he did it. I didn't leave any room for guessing. Bad boys for life. Yeah, bad choices for life for sure. And it's a lot more celebrities that have done even worse. That is a fact. Nickelodeon, you're hilarious. They giving up the ass, yo. Abstinence for now, for sure. I am abstinent for sure. If a devil worshiper can be forgiven and change their life, then I got hope. Oh, that's absolutely fact. The good thing about our Christ is, and I be hearing, I'm trying to get one of those Israelites, Hebrew Israelites on the program. The popular one that be debating everybody. He be doing millions of views. He already seen my message. He liked it. He just Anyways, the only thing I don't disagree with these people about is that they don't believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. And, that's their prerogative. But the good thing about Jesus Christ, as I understand him, and as he preaches, is that there is hope for you, even if you stepped all the way outside of the will of God. The thing that makes you get away from the promises and from the hope of Jesus Christ and from the hope of salvation is if you rebuke the Holy Spirit. And what is rebuking the Holy Spirit? Rebuking your intuition, meaning you're constantly going against that little voice that says, no, don't do it. And when you're giving up the cheeks for an opportunity that's going against the Holy Spirit, you can always redeem yourself, though. There is hope. But if you're living in that, sin, meaning you don't repent, then there is no hope for you. But take it back to your Creator and read the word for yourself. But as I understand it, there is salvation for you, for anybody. Repent. Solar, yo, what's up with it, Poe? Funny joke though, for sure. Independent Solar, nah, for sure. The internet has brought a lot to the light, but it's also bringing a lot more evil. It's a duality, and it's up for you, and that's why what you put your attention to. That's why it's good that you're here. What you put your attention to is inevitably what you're going to manifest in your reality. So it is up to you. I want money, not fame. I found out the hard way that God is truly real. I wonder what happened to you. Jada knew about her husband because she's the same way. Yeah. She's one of those. Yo, these people are freaky, man. These people are really, 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 really freaky, man. They're into like bondage. A grown man commented under one of my videos. This is off topic. A grown man commented under one of my videos the other day. One that I had, I had my leather fit on, and he was like, "Yo, why you wearing leather so much? Are you into bondage?" And I was like, "Yo, You're 40 years old asking me, do I wear, not age ain't got nothing to do. Yeah, dude. You're 40 years old asking me, am I in the bondage? You freaky weird. You know, I want the old Solar 2 months ago, I would have said a lot about dude. But this version of me, I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, sir. That means you just be watching me and you just be looking at what I got on and you just be wanting to judge me. Ew. I'm not Will Smith. No, I don't like that. No. No, bro. No, bro. I'm just comfortable being me, bro. You know, you can just go on about your business knowing that I look good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta worry about what I got on, bro. No. No. No Will Smith, bro. No. Anyways, bro. Yeah, that happened with Will Smith. The thing with Drake happened as far as he bit the hand that fed him. Oh, and we got to think about this too. Why is so much happening to Will Smith at this time? Because he is no longer relevant. These people, some of these people, they have 20 to 30 years of relevancy, and to where that they are automatically and astronomically protected, and that's why we don't see not a booty bandit by any stretch means of the imagination. I defend myself with death. I'm willing to die about this. You feel me? What I got up under me, I'm willing to die about it. You know, I'm willing to die about it. Anyways, that's crazy. These people, they all bit the hands that fed them. Why is Will Smith getting all of this heat right now? Why is it now that that all of this is happening to him? Well, again, because his relevancy in Hollywood is no longer what it used to be. The new Hollywood has to transition. And the new Hollywood is a Kai Cenat. The new Hollywood is a Drewski. The new Hollywood is etc. So these people no longer have the backing of what they used to have. So that's why you're seeing even Jay-Z get these accusations. But what they still do have, and what Diddy didn't have anymore, because they didn't necessarily bite the hands that fed them, is that they still have the backing of these people right here. They still have these people, meaning they can make lawsuits go away. Same thing that went away for Jay-Z's lawsuits that said that he had sex with a 13-year-old or 14-year-old girl, and she had receipts, and then she recanted her statement. But this little girl, or this grown woman now, she had been getting harassed by private investigators, and private investigators operate in autonomy, meaning they're private. They're just really civilians that can look up who you are, look up your public information, and go harass you. And what you gonna do about it? They can deny that they had anything to do with Jay-Z, but they made her recant her statement. Did she get paid off? I don't know, probably. But they made her recant her statement, and now she doesn't remember what happened. Did she get threatened? I don't know. But that's what's going on with Will Smith. He's not, Hollywood's golden boy anymore. So he's kind of like, shots can be fired. And we're living in an age right now where Hollywood, as we known it, has crumbled a little bit, because all of them booty bandits, the Ashkenazi Jewish booty bandits, the black boule booty bandits, the white Masonic booty bandits, all those booty bandits, the secrecy that they operated in, everything that's done in the dark must come to the light. It's just the nature of law. No matter how much you hide something, it has to come to the light, because people, not everybody's going to keep your secret. Not everybody's going to keep your secret. So no matter how much money you have, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, no matter how much money you have, you cannot hide who you are forever. You just can't. Quincy Jones, you just can't. Quincy Jones, you just can't. Morgan Freeman, you just can't marry your granddaughter, your step granddaughter, and we don't know about it. That means you've been looking at that little girl since she was a little girl. You've been planning on putting dick on her. Excuse my language, but you've been planning on doing that. What you do will come to the light. Especially if you operate in that sin, you constantly forfeit. What I just tell you, that the biggest sin that you can do is forfeiting the Holy Spirit, is blaspheming the Holy Spirit, meaning that you always say no when that little voice says, no, bro, don't do that. No, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, bro, she too young, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. She too young, bro. Don't do it. You constantly live in that. You are blaspheming the Holy Spirit. There is no salvation for you. You get me? For sure. Let's see what y'all talking Guys, I gotta drive from northern Michigan into southern Kentucky alone with no phone. Keep me with no phone. Jesus, what the fuck? You must have made this trip a billion trillion times. God go with you. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that you watch over this young lady. I pray that you watch over her mind and her thoughts. And I pray that you go with her on the highways and byways and that you protect her out of harm, hurt, and danger. I pray that you stay with her internally and externally and that you remind her of your presence to and from and that you give her safe travels. I say this in your son's most precious name. In Jesus' name, we pray shalom. So there you go. That's for you. Go with grace. Y'all, people are crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. Ain't funny. Laughing my ass off for real. Nikki, as long as you pray for protection and peace, you'll be okay. Yeah, we just did that. No worries. Yo, I've been watching American Horror Story. It's a lot of gems in there. Yeah, so those are one of those stories. I'm glad that you said that, and I'll kind of probably end on that. I'll give it up to about 125, actually. American Horror Story, just like Welcome to Darren. We talked about that yesterday, but I'll briefly mention it again, and then I'll wrap up my topics as well. So, anyways, American Horror Story, Welcome to Derry, Stranger Things. What's that one show? Somebody remind me when you get a chance. Remind me of that one show where it was about that black family moving to Compton during the 1950s, and they moved into a haunted house, and then they met all types of racism and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I used to watch that too. Anyway, I just can't think of the name. Anyways, all these type of shows, the things about all these type of shows is that yeah, they got gems, but you got to understand the producers of these shows pray over them demonically. Us. There you go. Yep. Us. The producers of these shows pray over them demonically. They pray over them demonically. These people are. They will say that they're agnostic. They will say that they're atheists. But that's just a key word for Satanist. Just because it's still at this time in the next 10 years or so. I don't think the stigma will be as hard as it normally would be. But at this time, the stigma of being an open Satanist is still not widely accepted. So these people pray over these things demonically. So you just got to be careful of what you're feeding into your psyche. I binge watched American Horror Story like the first 3-4 seasons. And let me tell you, dreams were crazy, bro. What kind of Christian are you? I don't subscribe to the Christian denomination because I don't believe that Christianity was founded or that Jesus Christ would have wanted Christianity due to all the rape, racism, pillaging, forceful, just the history. I am a follower of Yahashua, of Yeshu, or as we know him today, Jesus Christ, and I am a follower of his teachings, and I do my best to try to adhere to the teachings that people like him set forth. That's your answer. So yeah, you just gotta be careful with stuff like that, bro. You gotta be careful with stuff like that. Anyways, do y'all think, back to my topics, do y'all think that it's okay that they're rewriting history openly in your face? Again, I just told y'all at the beginning of this live that they're saying that January 6, 2021, that was 2021, right? Anyways, the first time that Trump got out of office and then he told his people to go down, march down there and give them hell, that we got to give them hell, that go take your country back. Do you think that it's okay for people to just rewrite history and say, no, that ain't happened, even though we got it on video where you inciting people to go riot and stuff like that? And then he says the people that got shot in the Capitol were peaceful. So why is he doing that? He's trying to re-rally his base, people. His base, the people that really, really support him don't care about facts. They don't care about who gets affected as long as the silent majority, which is the white majority, as long as they're not affected. And they're really voting against their own interests because he doesn't even care about them. How y'all feel about that? How do you guys feel about us invading Greenland? Because it's gonna happen. If this administration says that we're thinking about doing it, we're already actively doing it in kind of little ways. And then when we hear about it, that's gonna be about 30 to 60 days after we've already done something very aggressive to them. What y'all think about that? We're already doing that for strategic positioning. But it's not like, we can't just work something out with Greenland where we can have some, ships around there. No, we got to own the island. It has to be a part of the U.S. now. How do you feel about this? I don't know. Martin Luther divided Christianity. Do you believe in confessions and communions? I believe in confessions. I believe that we should confess to one another as believers, because it enhances our spiritual vitality, for us to speak our truths to one another, and for us to relate to one another as humans. I think that that's important. As far as communion, do this in remembrance of me. Remember the things that I talked about. Remember and the teachings that I did. I don't necessarily believe in cannibalism. You know what I mean? Like eating flesh and drinking blood and stuff like that. I don't necessarily remember. I'm not so sure how he spoke of that. When he said blood, I think he was talking about, the vitality of the truth that poured through him. You know what I mean? And then I don't think the wine, how we got it to resemble blood, and then the bread to resemble flesh. I don't, cannibalism, paganism. I don't. It's kind of like intertwined with what he was talking about. You kind of like gotta read between the lines with that. So it's like, ugh, you know, ugh, But you gotta take that to your creator and discuss that for yourself. But as I understand it, yeah, communion is good depending on how we're doing it. Confession is even better, because it reminds us of our humanity, and it allows us to connect with one another. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. That's good right there. Let's see what y'all talking about. What's good with it, bro? Nice to see you. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN. I am fanatically, sonically out of here. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Anywhere else that you guys could be on the planet, you decided to be here. So it is a pleasure for you guys being here. I do not take this lightly. Let's see what else y'all talking about. I realize you talking about bad boys and you have Bodman in your name. Are you lying to us, brother? No, man, I'm not lying to you. I'm just solo Bodman. I'm just like, I'm out of here, bro. I'm just out of here. That's all that means. Not bad boys, Bodman. It's a difference in it. It's a difference in it. Thank you for your answer. You're very much welcome. Oh, I skipped your comment. I like your shirt. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. This is kind of like my Igbo shirt, even though it was made in Sri Lanka. This is kind of like my Igbo shirt, my Nigerian shirt. I'm kind of like on my this is like what politicians and with like doctors and stuff, where I'm kind of like, that's kind of like the trajectory that I see myself going. Whatever the Lord has for my life, I will do. I'm kind of like, this is like me taking myself serious. So I appreciate the compliment, brother. And it's a pleasure to have you here. It certainly is. 99 3 Heem said, you killing it, bro. Love the passion. I appreciate that, bro. That's the Lord that you're saying to me. I can't take any credit, but I appreciate you being here. Yeah, bro. You gotta be passionate about something, especially when it seems like you have no. I don't know. Am I covering the mic? Can y'all hear me? Anyways, especially when it seems like you have no control over what's going on. Like it just seems like every day we invading somebody without they consent. We're kidnapping people, even though we're a country that doesn't like thugs and doesn't like gangsters. But we're kind of like thuggish and gangster right now, and we don't like liars and we like accountability. But it's like we're kind of lacking accountability right now because we're kidnapping people and we're changing history. And it's like, yo, I thought we were a country of accountability. Which one is it? Are we thugs? Are we gangsters? Are we slimes? Are we YNs? Are we a country full of YNs? How we like talking about one particular ethnic group, but then our actions say another thing. Which one is it? I need answers. I need them now. Which one is it? Which one is it? I don't know. I'll sit back down until I get an answer. I don't know. I will never confess to a human. I only confess sins to Jehovah God through Jesus Christ. Hey, however you got to look at it. Again, I said anything and everything that I say in relation to when I speak about Christ, the word, take it back to your creator and decide for yourself. So I cannot convince you otherwise. All I will say is that the church is when two or more are brought together in communion with each other, and there the Lord shall be. So you weren't born on this planet by yourself. You were born to communicate and to commune with other like-minded individuals through the following and through the blood. Remember, I talk about the blood, the vitality, the energy that spread through the words of a figure like Jesus Christ. So, do with that information as you will. Yeah. So I know you ain't been doing that music, but we can definitely take that lane over with consistency. And just like with this content. No, for sure. It's not that I'm not doing it because I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just I haven't, come on, bro. I had to get this house. You know what I'm saying? And that took a lot of energy. And I got all the equipment to mix and engineer, but it's like I don't want to sit down and mix and engineer. That stuff is annoying. You feel me? So it's like I'll just do what I do know how to do. I'll do this. You feel me? So it's kind of like laziness, really, or really me prioritizing something else. But I have songs in my blood, bro. And I'm glad I didn't pop when I was 17, 18, 19, because it would have been led by the devil, you know. And as we see, all of our heroes have been led by the devil in some, what we consider the devil, the shadow realm. Remember, we've been talking about this. Since we're talking about Stranger Things, since we're talking about American Horror Stories, since we're talking about all that. Remember, we're talking about the other realm, the realm that exists right here that we can't see. That literally this room, there's a room that is in the shadow realm, and there are beings that can infiltrate this room if I allow them, and depending on my vibration. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you and the light that y'all see in me is from the heavenly realm. It is not from the shadow realm, and it's not from me. I'm just a vessel that's operating, and that's allowing that to funnel through me because of my choices. So I'm still with the music, bro. I am music. You feel me? I think I make the best music. I just, I haven't been able to prioritize it. So if you are willing to come along with me on this journey, and for any else of y'all that's willing to come along on this journey and wants to actively, outside of being a part of the platform by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and stuff like that, if you want to actually come physically work with us, please do so, because I need all the help. I do. I need all the help. Please, 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 help, please, please, for sure. I am based out of Dallas, Texas, and Cincinnati, Ohio. Right on, brother. Right on, for sure. America is cursed by the natives, brother. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And you called me brother, so I don't know what you mean by that. Are you saying that Native Americans, the ones that came over on the Russian land bridge, are you saying that they cursed the land? Are you saying this? Are you saying that the Americans, America as we know it as USA Americans, the ones that came over on the Mayflower, that came in peace and stuff like that until it didn't benefit them no more, and then they broke every single treaty that they ever put in place with brown people? Are you talking about them? Or are you talking about the natives, like I just said? Or are you talking about the Moorish Americans, the blacks, that they like to deny that were never here? But even though we got monuments and we got more pyramids in North and South America than any place on the planet, including Africa, are you talking about them? Who are you talking about, sir? Who? I need answers. I need them now. Who? Who are you talking about? I felt a lift. Thanks so much. And no, I got to take I-75 south all the way. Oh, okay. 75. I got 75 going through Ohio too. And you said Kentucky too. So yeah. Be careful. Thugs and divas are actually ancient demons. I learned that last year and blew my mind. What you mean by that? Expound on that. I know you are, bro. Facts. I need your music on YouTube, Solar. I need your music on YouTube, Solar. I like your music. For real. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. I don't be running bots and stuff on my stuff. You feel me? And I just started my page. Well, like if y'all go on my description, it say I've been on YouTube since 2013, but I haven't been promoting my YouTube until like the last 4 months. So I'm just getting started with this, and I'm just getting the buzz going up. So, give me some more time, and it's going to be super lit, like out of here, like stupid out of here, like stupid out of here, like out of here, like for sure. All right, you just answered my question. But thank you for the compliment. Cherokees, Aztecs, etc. Oh, okay. You're saying that they cursed the land. All right, so I had a guest on here by the name of Paul from Understanding Conspiracy. And he's a real big page in the UK. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers, just as much as 607. Anyways, and what he specializes in researching how we've been involved demonically, culturally, with all cultures on the planet since we've been recording history. Anyways, I say all that to say that Aztecs did not build those pyramids and stuff like that. Even the ancient Kemits, we've all been inheritors of land, is what I'm saying to you. So when you say that they cursed the land, I would say that the curses were already set in place by demonic entities, what we would consider fallen angels, before they even got there. So I would argue against that per se because of that insert that I just gave you. They've already been cursed. We came on a cursed land because demons have been running rampant throughout all societies since time immemorial, and our duty as humankind is to come against the forces of darkness and to come to a place of surrenderance to the divinity that is in all of us, to use our spiritual vitality to push away the forces of darkness. In layman's words, demons been here for a long time and they cursed the land before us. I just said that, but our job is to say no and to get back to a place of God. Because right now, all the problems that you see in the world right now is because we have false idols that we put in place of God, and those false idols are these fallen angels, or what you would consider demons. And they live in a fractal universe in between, in the shadow realm, in the other side of the coin. Stranger Things, American Horror Story. You know, they live on the other side. And the only way, because they're so abominable, the only way that they can get to this side is by what we allow, by what we pay attention to. So, and it wasn't just them. I would say, Aztecs and stuff like that, through blood worship and through demon worship, because they did demon worship and blood worship, blood sacrifice. I'm sorry. They definitely added to the blood of the land. But I mean, hey man, everybody's been adding to the blood of the land. Pilgrims added so much blood to the land. They literally called it the Trail of Tears by the eradication and the gentrification. I'm sorry, not gentrification, by the genocide of my people and other native indigenous people. Indigenous people, through their blood sacrifice and through their idol worship, they also added to the blood of the land, but they were more in sync with nature and stuff like that. But they still had open demon worship, that we would consider tribalism and stuff like this. And this happened on every continent. So it's kind of like you can't really pinpoint one specific. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Can't really pinpoint one person. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what y'all talking about. Bet. For sure. I never heard your music, but I'm gonna check it out. But if you sound like a horse, I'm gonna let you know. Okay. He's a smart guy, Paul is. Yeah, he's a very intelligent guy. And he's very unbiased as well. He's very aware of history and stuff like that. So he's a cool guy. You should definitely go listen to him, subscribe to his channel, check out our conversation too, because I'm very proud of that. I'm very, very proud of that. It's very, very much a milestone for me. Go check that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of that. But yeah, he's very good with that for sure. Definitely out of there. Wait till we chop it up, G. I got some connects. No Kizzy app. For sure, definitely tap in with me and anybody else, guys. Again, I got about 3 spots that's filled, that's waiting to come in mid-January. But if y'all want to lock in, I can definitely fit y'all in. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know. I'm doing about a 3-day stay for $200. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? 3 days for $200, and we're going to be able to do everything. Mix, master music. I'm not going to mix and master, but by the time y'all get here, I'll have an engineer in-house that's going to mix and master it. You feel me? We'll do content. I had the setup. I had a desk. It'll be cool. It'll be real cool. No, we were punished since Adam and Eve eating the fruit, so life didn't have no choice but to go this way. You got a point. Or what some tribes would call the holy people, which was already set in place generations, but were they holy? Yeah. What do you consider holy? And again, every single culture on this planet has, and that's why I love the conversation that me and Paul had, even though that his whole premise of his channel is based off of this information, which is the Nephilim look like clowns. Demons really came in the form of clowns and stuff like that. And when you see these shamanic holy men and the dances and stuff that they did, our ancestors, what they were doing was, the thunder gods and all them, those were demons, fallen angels. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff has been around since time immemorial. And if you want to push it all the way back to Adam and the Eve, the Eve people and the Adam people, you can do that. I believe that that's appropriate. what I'm saying? I'm jealous of your booty, Mark. Don't be jealousy. Jealousy is a sin. You know, get that out your blood. You know what I'm saying? Get that out your blood. You think Trump being told what to do, or do you think he's making the decisions himself? Trump is a high-level Freemason and a high-level warlock. The one of the witches of the industry, Marina Blamovich. I just did a whole live on her the other day. I don't know if you guys remember that. Marina Blamovich. You know, she stated out of her own witch mouth that Donald Trump was a high-level warlock, and that he is very much in tune and aware of what he's doing. Donald Trump also has an exact replica of the what's that? Holy Grail at his Mar-a-Lago estate. So I say all that to say he's aware of what he's doing, bro. He has people that's telling him, because he's the first Jewish, and he's not a Jew. Even the Jews that are in Israel aren't Jews. They practice Judaism, but those people are Zionists, and they insert themselves into prophecy because they're, it says that our kingdom will be overran by hypocrites who will claim to have a right to our thrones, but who will be invaders and intruders. They're literally those people. So he's just one of those people. He's from he's one of those ancient Amalekites and stuff like that ancient Israel used to have to fight against. Like, these people can trace their bloodlines. They know exactly who they are. I'm saying they know exactly who they are. So I'm not saying he's the smartest guy though, but I'm not saying he's dumb either. You feel me? He's not the smartest, but he's not dumb either. Yo, I got it. You know what I'm saying? It's that part of the show. I've been on here for about 2 hours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Of course I'll wash my hands. What are you talking about? Of course I'll wash my I wash my hands. I'm professional. Bro, I'm sorry. Bro, I'm sorry. Bro, stop yelling at me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What do you want from me, bro? I've been on here 2 hours, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, say you forgive me, bro. Please. 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 Who just called me a liar? Okay. You want to call me a liar? You want to call me a liar? Who is Paul again? Let me make sure I didn't speak of. You think Trump? Oh, I already read that one. Who is Paul again? Paul is understanding conspiracy. Understanding conspiracy, and the most popular videos for me and how I got hit to his channel was called "The Nephilim Look Like Clowns." I highly suggest that you people go watch that, and also go watch our conversation that we had about 2 weeks ago. It was live, bro. It was like a highlight of my life. You know what I'm saying? So go watch that. You feel me? Go watch that for sure. Are you sure that your hair is natural? Are you sure that you're even a real person? You kind of look like this one person that commented on my channel before, and you might be, but you had a different name. Let me see. Yeah, you only got 1 subscriber, and you joined a year ago. I don't even think you're a real person. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think you're a real person. God is a very jealous God, though, so how is jealousy a sin? That is a good point. Hey, look at you knowing stuff. How is jealousy a sin? Jealousy is a sin because it suggests envy. Now, in the context of when we're relating to our Most High God, it's not relating to envy. He's actually stating his jealousy is against the envy of Israel in relation to serving other gods. So it's all about context when you're relating certain words, particularly when you're relating them to the Most High and you're comparing it to humanity. Remember, the Most High's ways are not our ways, and our ways aren't the Most High ways. And I didn't even know how I was going to answer that question, so you know that I just pulled that out of the air and not out of my bottom like Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. At this point, doesn't matter. No, he's doing what the book said he's doing. Facts. Tesla's friend, the author, hell, I don't know his stupid ass name. What you talking about? Yep, unprofessional, liar, G's or P's. I bet your phone has an R. Kelly smell. Facts. I say facts. Yo, yo, yo. Whoa. Are you, yo, R. Kelly? So you just think I'll just be pissing on my hand and just touching my phone? You probably don't think I'll wipe. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, that's who you are. You're Sarah. Why'd you change your name, Sarah? You're not AI? Liar. I think you're a liar, Sarah. I told you to follow me on Instagram so I could see if you were a real person. That's the way that I can verify these things. Otherwise, I just see a picture that doesn't look like if I look at your picture and I blow it up, which I can't do right now, but if I try, it doesn't show you as it looks very AI generated. It does. It does. It does. It looks very AI generated. It does. It does. It does, Sarah. It does. I remember you. I do. I have a good memory. I do. Yeah. R. Kelly smell is crazy, bro. I heard he be playing basketball booty naked around a bunch of dudes. Him and Jamie Foxx. You know what I mean? I'll be damned. You know? It's crazy work. Crazy work right there. Crazy work like there. Let's see. What do you do during the day? I know you do real estate. So that's a very good question. What do I do during the day? Well, I don't know if I want to tell you. I work, bro. So I'm not so invested in real estate at this time because my in-depth real estate, bro. Like, I mean, I'm telling y'all to do it because it's a good side hustle. It's just stuff like I don't like talking to people. That's, you know, I mean, I like talking to y'all, but you know, I don't like calling people and doing all that in the third. So really, I'm kind of like, I'm not a trust fund baby. But I kind of like, you know, be sitting on money that I, you know, from work that, this is how I like working. I like working a bunch. So when you guys don't see me for 4 days, I'm working, you know, on my business ventures, my own personal businesses, you know, other things that I do, I'm working. And then I save up and then I don't work for like 3 days out of the week. You feel me? Or I don't work for like 3 months. You know, that's what I do. You know, that's what I do. You know, I'm kind of like rich. But I'm not. But I'm kind of like rich, you know, but I'm not. Does that answer your question? No, but it kind of does. That's the answer I got for you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I work during the day, bro. That's what I do. So you're saying it's synthetic. Perhaps. I don't wear a weave like some women. I don't think that was racially inclined. I mean, white women wear weave a lot. So, you know, maybe you were talking about all women. You know, so I'm gonna answer that for you. Felt that. I hate talking to people. Facts. Don't. Wow. Get them, Sarah. I don't know. Anyways, to conclude what we were talking about today, guys, just to make sure you guys remember, just to make sure you guys, yeah, for sure, hit me up. But just to make sure you guys remember what we were talking about. Right now, you have a current administration that is not interested in telling the truth. They are actively rewriting history, stating that January 6th wasn't something that was suggested by Donald J. Trump. And like he didn't pardon people that broke into the White House, into our federal building that's paid by our taxes, that he's actively tearing down right now without our permission, that he didn't tell them to go do that. And that's just a lie. It's just a lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. And I'm okay with, you know, you not liking my ethnicity. I'm okay with you not liking the Democratic Party. I'm not a Democrat. I'm okay with you not liking people. I just don't like liars. Let's just tell the truth about it. Let's just tell the truth about it. That's it. Let's just tell the truth about it. You told those people to go down there. You said give them hell. You said you got to go take your country back. What do you think that they did? They went to go take it. They went with nooses because, you know, them people like to hang people. But they don't like to get hung. They don't like any type of aggression towards them, but they like being aggressive. I don't know. 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 Anyways, so that happened. We talked about Will Smith and how he's a habitual cake toucher. We talked about that. We talked about how the U.S. is actively about to go kidnap and take Greenland. We talked about that. You know what I'm saying? We talked about, what else we talk about? What else we talk about? I don't know. We talked about how the shadow realm is actively in cooperation with our daily lives and how they're a big part of what's going on in the world right now. We talked about that. You know, it's a lot of things that we talked about. So at this time, I'm gonna open up the floor for you guys one more time, just to make sure. Oh, we talked about Drake and how he bit the hand that fed him, and so that's the reason that he's got that RICO case against him now. And they waited 9 months till after. Again, these people working 3-6-9s. I told you guys this. That's why Charlie Kirk got killed 3 months ago, and then 3 months later, you see this catastrophe happen. In the next 3 months, you're going to see something else happen. In the next 6 months, you're going to see something else happen and something else happen. That's how these people operate. That's how these people operate. And if you pay attention to the numbers, you can see the finesse. You know what I'm saying? You can see the finesse. All right. Whoa, that was racist. LOL. Yeah, white women wear weave all the time, so you know I kind of clean that up for sure. And I'm big on calling out racist. So if I don't think it was racist, I don't think I'm not gonna speak for you guys, but I think it can be implied that that is not what that person might have meant. It could be anyone. I'm black and have never worn one. It's just the way it sounds. I see what you're saying. 5 new cities in Antarctica. I did not look that up, brother. You know what? What time is it? It's 8:24. I would say give me like 45 minutes and I'll come right back after I have a good understanding of it. But I don't want to rush it. So let's save that for sure, until tomorrow. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have full knowledge of it, or I'm gonna have a better understanding of it, and I'm gonna be able to break that down. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I'm Charlie Kirk's second cousin. That means we share great grandparents, and I don't appreciate making fun of his death. Now I just think you're not even a human. I don't even think you're a real person. I don't even think you have fingers. Do you have fingers? Do you have legs? Do you have legs? Do you have irises in your eyeball? You know what I'm saying? If I shine a flashlight on your eyeball, would there be an eyeball to shine a flashlight on? Because now y'all feel like you're just saying anything. I looked it up. Bet, appreciate you. I looked it up. They say it's not new cities, just some underground travel. Just some underground travel for them to get there from other cities. So are you guys stating? So wait a minute. Before I look it up for myself, are you guys stating? So I've had other people on the live before, like from New Zealand, that said that there are underground tunnels that lead from New Zealand all the way to Texas. Are you stating it's something like that? Or are you saying it's underground networks that are only particularly in Antarctica that lead only to other areas of Antarctica? Is that what you're saying? Before I get out of here, is that what you're saying? I just want to know. For those of you guys going to be watching this back, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hype the video when you get a chance, because we are the biggest, by the way, and we are monetized. Remember that I used to say that we're not monetized yet? Yo, we did that in 4 months. We did that in less than 4 months. Yes, we're dope, guys. We dope. We are the biggest. And when I say we're the biggest, I'm not just talking. We literally are the biggest. We're literally the biggest, spiritually speaking, because we don't compromise ourselves. We don't sell sex to little boys and little girls. We don't lie on this platform like our current administration does on our official government websites. We don't spew hatred. We only talk about facts, and then we think about things that we're talking about, and we try to make sense of them. We are the biggest, and our platform only gets bigger. This is the smallest that we will ever be, and we've gotten bigger since I started this. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Do you believe human beings have telepathic abilities. I know we do. I know we do. Just for example, if you guys come in close proximity with one another or with me, we'll start thinking alike, even without us necessarily talking, just by us being in close proximity with each other and having the want to be together. That's just what naturally happens. That's why when we were together during the Tower of Babel, we all spoke the same language. The same language was telepathic, and then we got spread apart. That's what that's about. Had a crazy experience on LSD when I was at 18, 19. Facts, me too. Maybe I can incorporate that with the Antarctic thing. Say my full name without the K. Yeah, you're not a real person. Or you're not a girl. You're not a boy either. What are you? Yo, what are you? What's your Instagram? Stupid wild, bro. Stupid wild, bro. Like, what is this person? Who is this person on this live? Who is this? Are you a fat old man? Like, who are you, bro? Who are you? I'm genuinely curious. Kinda. For like the next 30 seconds. And I didn't say it out loud because I can't give you power. You know what I mean? That would be giving you power, yo. And I don't want to give you no power. That's crazy, though. You're crazy. You're crazy. If you guys got anything else for me, let me know. Let's see, I'm at 56. I'll give it to about 58, and then I'm out of here, guys. But again, we talked about a lot of different things. This was a good live. We talked about basically so the same thing that we're doing in Venezuela, whereas we're what we like to do is dress up. We like to dress up everything as if we're the good guys or we're doing things to help the world. But all we're doing is strategically placing ourselves to be the kings of the world. What's different between us and ancient Rome and conquering the whole world, or the kingdom of Britain and conquering the whole world, or Genghis Khan and conquering most of the known world? What is different from us? What makes us different? I don't think anything makes us different at this time. I don't think anything makes us different at this time. If anything, we are right on par to be um, one of the authors of the Book of Revelation. Oh, I wouldn't even say apparently the police of the world. We are positioned ourselves to be the police of the world, and it's not just this administration. So I can't just say this is a Trump thing. It's not just a Trump thing. It's not just a white nationalist thing. This is I can keep the white nationalist part over there, but this is definitely every single administration since Eisenhower. We have been the police of the world. What gives us the audacity to do so? Why can't we coexist with the world without policing it? Is it because the rest of the world will then a global terror threat will rise? There will be a Hitler, regardless if it's Hitler or not. Is that the case? I would argue that that's true. I would argue that irregardless of our position in the world, even if we try to take a position of peace, that there will always be a faction of the world that will rise up to be the ruler. Because we're white and smart. Does your whiteness denote smartness, or does your smartness denote whiteness? Which one is it? Which one is it? You know, which one is it? And I'm at 158, y'all. So I said 158, but I gotta go to 160. You know, both. So your whiteness denotes smartness, and your smartness denotes whiteness. Mm, okay, okay. No qualm with that. No qualm with that. If that's how you feel about it, that's how you feel about it. You know. Yeah, bro. Definitely am, brother. Definitely am, bro. I'm actually about to get back into, fully get into MMA, and get punched on and stuff like that. I just think it's an important tack. Also, another thing that I want to, oh, I meant to give you guys some financial secrets. So it's only like, I think it's just you here, maybe the other person, regardless. And for those of y'all that's going to be watching this back, that stayed until the end of the video, this is where the financial secrets are going to be when I remember to lay them down. But yeah, definitely in mixed martial arts, for sure. So I'm going to be focusing on my judo, wrestling, and my boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's important. But survival. I think it's also good for children of God to know these things, to deal with the world. Because when you walk around with a comfortable body and a mindset, you're more able to deal with evil more temperedly, with less emotion. You see things with less emotion when you have complete control in your body, so I think that's a good thing. Yeah, it's a bunch of y'all still here and commenting, but it only says one on my screen. YouTube be playing with you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this person just be saying anything. You see, I'm John Rockefeller's great great granddaughter. So you're Charlie Kirk's something, and you're John D. Rockefeller's, which you just on America. You're just white royalty. That's who you're white royalty, aren't you? And you're in your Illuminati bloodline, aren't you? I would like to interview you. I would like to interview you. I would. I would like to interview you on my mom and dad's side. Oh, you a troll, bro. Who is you, bro? You're funny. I live for martial arts, something spiritual about it. It definitely something spiritual about it. And, I highly suggest that children of God do that and involve themselves in that. But anyways, y'all, I'm at about 2:01, so I ain't going to keep y'all no longer. I appreciate y'all being here. For those of y'all watching this back, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. Double tap the screen. I love y'all with the love of Christ. I'll see y'all tomorrow, Lord willing. Peace.